So Cabinet has approved local content policy for the oil and gas sector. And we have been wondering what's going on. How are we going to, tap into the oil and gas sector? Well, I have Edna here. She's the business editor at the New Vision, and she's here to help us. I think she's quite passionate about the oil and gas sector. Edna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lynn.
So what is this policy, local content policy?
The local content policy is really government's way of ensuring that the local businesses can also play in this area.
Okay.
Oil and gas is new. We haven't done this before.
Absolutely.
Yes, so if you don't have any mechanism in place to ensure that the locals can benefit from it, it's very easy for everyone to come from the outside and actually run this thing and leave you on the sidelines.
Yes, because we don't know.
Yes, we haven't done this before. So that is really their way of ensuring that some of these the goods and services that are going to be used in the oil sector are ring-fenced for the local businesses.
And how are they going to do this?
By having this policy in place, there's a list of goods and services that they have decided these should only be offered by Ugandan companies.
Right.
And it's because they believe that much as we haven't done we haven't been in the oil and gas business before, we have the capacity to do to provide these services and to do or offer these goods for the industry.
Still under this content policy, so what exactly are they looking at? Because the other day we were discussing and telling me that for anything, for any service, for any work to do, you have to be certified.
Yes.
Does this also come in here?
Yes. Just because you're Ugandan and just because the services have been ring-fenced doesn't mean that you will be the guys to do it. You also have a role to play.
Okay.
You need to make sure that one, the quality of your goods is good enough. You need to make sure that the services you're offering are if you are to be compared at international standards, you are in the right area, like you're good enough to do this thing. Then the other thing they've done is to create a supplier database.
Okay.
And what this supplier database does is bring everyone who can offer these services on one platform.
Right.
You can check it out, anyone viewing can check it out on the internet, and then they can see if they have the expertise to actually offer those services. Now, the reason why the supplier database is important is because when you apply, the Petroleum Authority comes in and they check out your business and they make sure that you're complying with all the standards, you're taking care of your workers, you're paying your NSSF, you're doing the right thing. Okay. Then they list you.
So how, before you can go on, how do I access this database? You said I can just Google it.
You can check the Petroleum Authority website. They have a list now. And there was a window that closed recently for new applications. They're going to do it every year. Okay. You put in your application and then they vet you and then list you. Now, when you're listed, yes, you will also learn about the different training opportunities that are available. Then you know about the standards, because they are really pushing, because they want us to, the local content policy, the purpose is to make sure that we all can benefit from this thing. Every Ugandan should be able to benefit in terms of jobs. Now, on the job side, they have a talent database.
Oh, yes. I should check that one out. I think I have some talent.
It should be ready in December. Oh, yes, okay. The National Talent Database. Now, that will make sure that Ugandans with the right skills are actually employed in the sector. Wow. Yes.
This is good.
Yes, so it's really to protect the businesses and to sort of help them get into this area. We haven't done it before, but we know that there are people who can do this work.
Interesting, you talked about training. So how much of this local content policy does it cover? How much of the oil and gas sector does the local content policy cover?
Well, it looks at the entire chain. When we start, we finish the exploration phase. Now, when we get into production, what they want is to make sure that the guys in the fields, the guys doing the drilling and the guys who are building the pipeline, we have a good number that are Ugandans. There are so many jobs. They're in thousands of jobs.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you
we
want
say
to
this every other time.
Yes, we say it all the time.
Yeah.
So that it's really to make sure that at every level, even at management, and there are people that are being trained to be managers.
Yeah.
There's a school in Kampala that is focusing on training high-level managers for the oil and gas industry.
What are the qualifications?
You can go with your degree.
In what? In anything?
Yes, most of their students are lawyers because, yes, the legal services are, I think, on the national supplier database. I mean, on the local content policy as well. So there are many lawyers. You and I can go and do our MBA in oil and gas. But then the challenge is that these are not the most jobs in the industry. You see, the most jobs are in the construction and then in services.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So, I noticed that a bigger percentage of course of people going to work in the oil and gas sector are people certified, not Ugandans, most of them. I was wondering, is there a percentage difference, or say 20% of local content, and say the rest is, you know, so
the people that, well, I don't think they've set percentages for oil and gas.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a percentage in the PPDA law, public procurement and disposal of assets law. That I think it's 20% of certain contracts should be given to local companies, and they're also. In that law, there are some provisions that certain jobs should be for women, for youth, there are things that they've put aside quotas. Now that 20% is for that, but for oil and gas, they haven't put a percentage. What they've done is made the rules strict that if you cannot prove that there is no Ugandan who can do this work,
then
you have to employ a Ugandan. If you prove without doubt that if you prove that there is no Ugandan who can do this work, then you can bring in an expatriate, but for a period. While this expatriate is working, they have an understudy.
That's beautiful.
Yes. So they haven't set quotas, but they have strict rules.
Amazing. Well, I think I'll ask you about the rules and regulations and their articles and acts and what. Yeah, those ones we'll do next time because I'm very intrigued. We're preparing, but I don't know if we have a lot of things in place. Well, that's very insightful. So check out, that is the Petroleum Company.
Petroleum Authority of Uganda.
Yeah, Petroleum Authority of Uganda. Go to the database and find out. Maybe, I'm waiting for December. I might have some talent, perhaps in carrying things around. Yeah. Thank you so much, Edna.
Thank you, Lynn.